Welcome to this Strv 103 replay. The Strv is being played by UnBannMee and he's on Sand River, and let's see what he can actually do in this tank. Now, I haven't ground the Swedish TD line at all, mostly because I don't really find anything appealing in this line. While the siege mechanics are certainly novel, it's really cool that they have that, and the camo is good and the guns are really nice and accurate. I don't really think that static gun TDs really do fit in the current game meta, especially now that they're completely overbuffing the importance of heavy armor, but also the general map design. I mean, on this map it's actually quite an alright tank, but if you get Himmelsdorf, you're basically screwed, because you're a static gun TD, and static gun TDs are at such a massive disadvantage in this game nowadays that it's almost unbelievable. I mean, if you have a turret, you're basically a worse medium tank in terms of armor, so that actually works. I mean, this gun is really nice though, don't get me wrong, and this TD itself, but look at this, he's already spotted, and that was what, they're almost at maximum view range and something spotted him. Might be a light tank, but still, what's the point? And here as well, I mean, World of Tanks accuracy mechanics at work. This is one of the most accurate, if not the most accurate gun in the game, and look at these shots, potato tennis ball cannon all over the place. That one actually hit where it's supposed to go, but imagine just sniping at range and now also having to lead a target. I mean, these shots just shouldn't miss, come on. I know it's that one actually hit, but then again, T10 5 weak spot apparently still is, let's see, how much penetration has this ammo got? 308. So yeah, great balance of that Commander's Cupola there, obviously. But now we see this light tank coming in, and UnBannMee is just trying to kill this T10 5, which is really important, because even though that tank is nerfed, it's still a really viable T10 heavy tank, basically. But yeah, this object 704, I mean, you don't have a fucking monopoly on that ridge, fuck off. So yeah, static gun TDs in this gun or game meta, I mean, in this open map it works because you can take the range, but anywhere where you're basically forced to brawl in these tanks, you're fucked. It would have been helpful if UnBannMee actually helped his friend out here, because he is being spotted by that T54 lightweight, and he's actually quite lucky that people are not actually shooting him here. He is putting fire into that heavy there, the very balanced type 4 heavy it is, so that at least has the weak spot on the cheek plates. But yeah, oh, and that was a really nice ammo rack there by the enemy TD. But yeah, really well balanced Japanese heavies, especially with the derp gun. But yeah, as we can see, just waiting basically, because this tank, while it will definitely bounce shots, it will not bounce the shots of that caliber of gun. So just just wait for the team to actually do something. And this is one of the other reasons why I don't really like static gun TDs. I like the E25 because it has the mobility to actually get around and do stuff, and it has the camo to not basically get spotted by everyone and their dog when you fire. But it's just, I don't find it very engaging. I mean, it's cool when it works and you can put damage in like this, he says, while he bounces off the superstructure of a Jagdpanzer. But it's, yeah, potato shot again. But it is funny if you could put in damage like this, but this playstyle is just not active enough for me, and for me to actually grind out this entire line without using free XP would generally take 2 years anyway, with the amount of randoms I play nowadays. So yeah, I haven't really felt the need to play the Swedish TD line at all. I am actually playing the Leo at the moment, and trying to get to the Emil at least, because that is used in skirmishes and clan wars. It's still a potato tank, but at least it's vastly more usable. But I mean, in the meantime, UnBannMee has managed to do 3.1k damage. I mean, it's a slow game to start in that sense, but that's the playstyle you have to have with these tanks, because as soon as you're spotted, basically everyone will shoot at you, and A lot of these TDs actually easily get overmatched from various angles if you don't carefully angle it straight on. People can penetrate your side and stuff like that. And you have the siege mode, which takes time to deploy, but I mean it doesn't matter with these guys. But yeah, it is really nice in terms of snapshot aiming, though. It's really accurate. The dispersion values are really good, and as I said, I think it's one of the most accurate guns in the game. So at least you have that going for you. But yeah, I just don't know. I mean, they look cool and everything, but it's not the line I would actively grind purely because, I mean, yeah, they will be used in clan wars occasionally because they still have better camo than other TDs, but they will be very situational. And UnBannMee here is a bit cautious to keep his distance, but also try and set up at a higher angle so he can actually shoot down into enemy tanks. I mean, this is for the tank, and that's a really nice shot, tracking the Jagdpanzer E100. Uses his repair kit, bounces there unfortunately. See if we can track him again. So now we know this Jagdpanzer doesn't have a repair kit anymore. And he has got a really skilled repair crew though, by the looks of it, or he carries 2 repair kits, but why wait so long? So UnBannMee actually tracks him on the other side, and he's starting to get assistance damage as well now. So I mean, the rate of fire in this TD is really good, and the damage definitely racks up, but you need good circumstances for that. It is not like he could go to the right and then use his turret to poke from a different angle. He's limited to wherever he can get a direct line of sight and an angle towards the enemy with basically the front of his tank. Snapshots like that, however, are really, really good, and the good dispersion values actually help out really well for that. So kills that guy, 4.7k damage already, 732 spotting, but that might actually be slightly more with assistance damage so far. But yeah, I mean, it's all going relatively well, but he still needs to keep a little bit of distance, and then we see this T10 E4 coming in. And while it's certainly the right idea, that is not the right execution for that idea, driving over the ridge while you know that the enemy has a lot of TDs. UnBannMee here, I would personally not have waited so long, and here's the reason why. You know, people will shoot these tanks because they're easy pan, especially if you're not shooting from the front. So I would have just deployed and gone away in that situation, but a good reaction still. He managed to save all of his HP pretty much, only splashed by the arty. 5k damage. Setting up again because he knows that T-54E1 will probably retreat if he's smart. If he isn't, then yeah, we'll see. But he doesn't retreat far enough for UnBannMee to actually get a shot in, so UnBannMee is thinking, screw this, going in, and he'll try and deploy on this edge to actually shoot the T-54E1 in the back. So deploys right on the edge, nice aiming and dispersion. He hits it, but the Leopard PTA shoots him in the ass, and from that damage roll we can probably fairly safely say that Leopard PTA has got the 9cm gun. That is a really good shot, but also a really tricky one. The enemy team still has 2 arties, and you're deploying on top of a ridge, which that shot was important, but it's not like you couldn't have worked around this. But yeah, in the end it all came out really well. And now there's only 2 arty left to get, so I mean 5 minutes on the clock, and the arty is saying cap, but at the moment there's no real need to cap unless you're being pressured. So UnBannMee just tries to spot the enemy arty. He actually spots that one, manages to deploy, and RNG says nope, shot goes nowhere near where it's aimed, but he is able to snapshot that arty. He actually did get spotting damage on that one as well, or direct damage. Anyway, he got direct damage on that. He does get spotting damage on 261, and he goes around this way, and he's actually doing the smart thing, because these ridges on the right, these little ridges here, if you drive on top of those, you'll get stuck and you'll never be able to get off. So never drive on these ridges. So good thing in avoiding those. And now it's just the arty left. Let's see if we can pick that guy up. 6 kills so far, 5.8k damage, and yeah, of course we can pick this guy up. So really, really well played match. All in all, I mean, showed off the vehicle in its natural environment, showed off what it can do if the stars align. It also showed off the limitations, I think, in certain areas. So yeah, all in all, a nice match. So let's look at the results. So here we have the results for the Strv game from UnBannMee. He obviously got an ace tanker match. He also got Pascucci for killing 2 or more SPGs in one battle. High caliber obviously, and Top Gun. And he said to me he was so glad to actually get the ace tanker finally on this tank. And I can imagine, because these tanks, while they're not the most popular tanks probably on the server, they do have really, really high XP requirements generally, because they're relatively new, and the only people that have currently got them unlocked are people that are either very good or use free XP to get them. So yeah, I mean, really nice work so far. So he managed to get 7.1k damage in total, 7 kills, 1237 base XP, which is really nice actually. He did not make a profit, but then again, it's a tier 10 tank, and in the end, because he ran out of regular APCR ammo, he actually had to spam premium ammo at some of the enemies, which doesn't help with the cost, but I mean, for an ace tanker badge, it's certainly worth it. As you can see, most of the damage was done over a distance of 300 meters, which is just the way you usually have to play these tanks due to their nature. And he managed to get 1,000 assistance as well, so 8k combined. Really, really solid match. Yeah, I definitely enjoyed watching this. Even though it isn't my personal playstyle, I do enjoy watching good games in these tanks, obviously. So yeah, if you have more matches in general, feel free to send them to me. I'll always watch them. Sometimes I'll record them, obviously. But yeah, really enjoyed it. So I hope you guys did as well. And if you did, feel free to rate it, subscribe to the channel, and see you guys next time.